I am on a mission to collect every playable character from LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga video game. While only about half of the characters can be made from official LEGO minifigure releases, custom designers have stepped in with unique prints, molds, and sometimes rare non-official colors to fill in the gaps, making it possible to complete the collection in its entirety. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Let's dive into the latest update. What's up everyone, Jake here with another collection update. I've got some very exciting news to share with you before we jump into this video. As many of you know, if you've been following this collection series, Bosk Customs is my favorite custom seller and in my opinion has the highest quality Complete Saga figures on the market right now. In my collection so far, you may have seen the Force Ghosts from him, Kit Fisto, the Beach Trooper, and many others. Well, I am excited to announce that he is now sponsoring the channel and this collection series. I will be receiving figures from him weekly and will receive new releases early for you all to see before he posts them on his site in some cases. I am very excited about this, and it is the first official sponsorship I have accepted on the channel. And just to be transparent with you all, I have been reached out to for a couple of brand deals and a couple of other sponsorships, and I have always declined up to this point. The reason for that is I will never sacrifice my honest opinion or integrity for the sake of a sponsorship or anything of the sort. I am happy to accept Bosk Customs as a sponsor because overall I love his product and have been a regular customer of his. He actually reached out to me and just told me that he loves the videos, and we just kind of started talking back and forth from that point. It wasn't even just a straight business transaction. He's actually just a fan of the videos, which I thought was really cool alone. And then a couple weeks after chatting back and forth, he offered to sponsor the channel. This is the coolest thing that has happened for me on the channel so far regarding this series. As always, I will continue to be transparent with you all anytime I'm making content and look forward to having access to more figures for the collection. His website will be listed below in the description from here on out if you'd like to check out his figures. Anyways, let's jump into the next Complete Saga minifigure collection update. First up, we have Geonosis Padme. This is a pad printed minifigure on official LEGO parts from Bosk Customs, except for the hairpiece, which is a custom resin mold that matches the Padme hairstyle in the Complete Saga. And yet again, aside from my personal desire for the belt print to reach all the way across the bottom section of the torso on each side, this figure is absolutely perfect. As you can see by the side-by-side image, this is nearly a 1-to-1 compared to the in-game model. LEGO did make a Complete Saga style head print for Padme, but it was not in the flesh tone skin color. The official LEGO was a yellow minifigure, so it's nice to obtain a Complete Saga Padme with the correct coloring and overall unique and great design from the game. I love the cape as well. We don't really see capes with this kind of beige tan color, and I think it matches the cape she wears well from the Geonosis factory scene in the movie. The Geonosis Padme is an iconic figure, and I hope Bosk Customs decides to make the clawed version as well, which is also a playable version of this character in the game. The only other thing I noticed is that since the hairpiece is a resin mold and not an official LEGO hairpiece, it can be difficult to have a firm connection and placement onto the official LEGO head. In case you all aren't aware, it is very difficult to get the exact size needed when creating a custom product for an official product, especially at this size and with the preciseness needed. The hair doesn't just fall off by any means, but it definitely does not stay on as well as an official LEGO hairpiece. But since LEGO never made this hairpiece, and this is a collector's item that will be setting in my display case, I'm not worried about that at all, and it looks great and matches the hair from the game. I just wanted to point that out there and also give a bit of insight into what it takes as far as some of these custom modifications go. I'm not a custom creator by any means, but I've done some research on it. As far as a custom resin hair mold goes, this is about as high quality as you can ask for. Anyways, yeah, I am very happy to have the Geonosis Padme added to the collection. Before I jump into the next minifigure being added to the collection, I wanted to show you all an update I am making to the Bib Fortuna minifigure from a previous collection video. If you have seen one of the first videos in the series, you heard that I am attempting to get as close as possible to obtaining all of the minifigures' head prints based on their character icon from the selection menu in the game, which gets complicated because there are lots of figures that have a slightly different head print or facial expression as you are playing as the character in the game compared to their mugshot style icon. There are also minifigures that are official Lego which match the in-game model perfectly, but the facial expression is different on the icon. For example, the OG Episode 3 Obi-Wan, the official face print has a slight smirk and kind of indented mouth print that makes the figure look a bit happier, while the character icon has a RBF, if you will, or RLF, resting Lego face might be a better way to describe that. Another similar example is that Episode 3 Anakin and his Force Ghost counterpart actually have their mouths slightly open on their icons. In this case, Lego not only never made a version of Anakin with the mouth slightly open, they actually never made a 2005 style Anakin without the mouthpiece from his headset printed onto the face print, aside from the light up Anakin, which does not include the headpiece print, but you can't remove that head due to the light up function. So in order to get a truly accurate complete Saga Obi-Wan and Anakin head, you have to find someone that will do a custom print. Anyways, Bib Fortuna is one of the figures who has the official Lego face print as his in-game playable version. For example, as you're playing as the character in the game, you will see his official Lego head print, but on the character icon selection menu, you will see a different version, which is the kind of resting Lego face, as I have coined it in this video. So Bosk Customs noticed in one of my videos that I needed to update this face print with a custom face print to match the icon, and so he sent me a custom Bib Fortuna face print, which I will be replacing right now. And as you can see, it matches the character icon perfectly and has a very nice pad print. I could not be more satisfied with the replacement of this Bib Fortuna head, and again, it matches the look that I'm going for in the game regarding the RLF icons. So big thank you to Boss Customs for sending me this head print. Anyways, now that we have updated that minifigure, let's move on to the next figure, which will be added to the collection, and that is Young Boba Fett. This is another official Lego figure that was made. Lego just never made a flesh-toned version of this exact design, but thankfully Bosk Customs has stepped in to fill in this gap. The face print matches the character icon in the game perfectly, and the torso, arms, and legs are all official Lego, but would normally be yellow above the collar area there where the skin is seen. I overall love this version of Boba Fett. Does it perfectly reflect the Boba Fett we see in Attack of the Clones based on the actor that plays him in the movie? No, it does not. The newer versions of Boba Fett tend to do that better, minus the hair on the recent UCS version we got last year. But that doesn't take away from this being an exact replication from the video game, and at the end of the day, you can still look at this character in the game and know who it is. Although many of the Complete Saga designs don't necessarily match the portrayal of the characters from the movies all that great, they still have a uniqueness and charm, which is why so many of them are still so beloved. Obtaining this figure makes me very excited to order the 2002 Jango Fett even more, so I can have the father-son duo here in the collection. But again, that Jango is around $400, I believe, and since my wife and I are closing on a house in 10 days, that may not happen for a bit. But regardless, let's go ahead and move these two new additions to the display case, where today we are going from 30 to 32 out of 126 playable characters from the Complete Saga video game, with the additions of the young Boba Fett and the Geonosis Padme. Let me know what you think about these figures from Bosk Customs, and feel free to go check them out on his website as well. I'm very excited to be continuing this collection, and again, thank you so much for the support. I look forward to making more Complete Saga content and more collection update videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this video a like and stay tuned for the next one. As always, I am Jake with Psychwalker Studios. Keep collecting, care for your mind, and may the Force be with you.